To surprise my wife, I wrapped up my business trip and came home early. Who would have thought she'd take my CEO office and give it to her green tea intern? Hubby, why the long face? Don't you see you're scaring Hwayeon? The intern was sitting in my office chair, rolling up his sleeves, deliberately showing off the $1 million watch my wife bought him. He was intentionally flaunting it in my face. He gave me a smug look, then frantically stood up. President Tang, it's all my fault. I don't deserve to sit in your office. I'll give it back to you right now. Please don't be mad. My wife forcefully pushed the intern back into the chair, looking at him with pity. Hwayeon, I told you this office is yours, so it's yours. No one can take it away from you. Then she looked up, furrowing her brows at me. Hubby, Hwayeon is so kind-hearted, he wouldn't even hurt a fly, yet you keep targeting him. Time and time again. I gave this office, with the best lighting to Hwayeon, to help you make amends. Don't be so ungrateful. I raised my hand and slapped her right across the face. Very well. You want my CEO office, huh? Let's see if you adulterous scumbags can take a beating. This is a melodramatic, female-oriented world. That intern is actually the son of the Tong family's former driver. After graduating from college, he came to the company as an intern. Relying on his masterful green tea skills, he led both Sister Ning and the original owner's wife by the nose. He would often deliberately trip and fall. When walking past me, intentionally splash coffee on his own face and slap himself. He'd even bash his own head against the wall, then falsely accuse the original owner of bullying him. At first, the wife and Sister Ning still spoke up for the original owner, but that intern kept putting on his pitiful act, over and over to frame him. The wife and Sister Ning started taking the green tea intern's side, constantly criticizing the original owner for abusing his power and being morally corrupt. What's even more melodramatic is that, later, the wife forced the original owner to transfer all his company shares to her name, but then, she handed all those shares over to the intern, Z. Hwayeon, while the original owner was kicked out of the house. In the dead of winter, he was surrounded and beaten to death by a gang of thugs under an overpass. It wasn't until years later, when the company went bankrupt, that Sie Hwayeon's true colors were fully exposed. Not only was he lazy and gluttonous, but he also hurled insults at those two women and even beat them up. He personally confessed the whole truth about how he framed me back then. Only then did they see through Sie Hwayeon's true face. They were green with regret. In so much pain, they no longer wanted to live. As for Sie Hwayeon, he took their last dime, fled abroad, and continued his life of debauchery, completely unscathed. What kind of garbage is this? How could a human even write this? After reading it, I was so furious I cursed out loud. My blood pressure spiked, my vision went dark, and then I transmigrated here. My wife, Su Manjiao, was holding her face. She suddenly turned her head, her voice sharp. You hit me? A piece of trash like you dares to hit me? Sie Hwayeon instinctively hid behind Su Manjiao, his eyes instantly turning red. He spoke in a trembling voice. President Tong, it's all my fault. You can bully me, you can hit me. But how could you hit Sister Manjiao? Do you know how hard Sister Manjiao works? Every day to manage the company for you? If you don't cherish her, fine. But how could you bully her? Hearing Sie Hwayeon's words, Su Manjiao grew even more furious. She pointed at me, trembling. Enough, Tang. Chen, if you were even a fraction as sensible as Hwayeon, I wouldn't have given your office to him, and now you dare to rebel and even hit me? You need to kneel down and kowtow to apologize right now. Otherwise, I will never forgive you. Just listen to this. These are exactly the absurd lines from that damn female-oriented novel. I am the dignified CEO of the Tang Group, and you dare say I'm rebelling and making me kneel? I was so angry. I almost laughed. I swung my hand and delivered another stinging slap to her face. Su Manjiao staggered from my slap. With a loud crash, she slammed into the desk next to her. Tang Chen, you dare hit me again? She held her face, glaring at me with absolute resentment. In her eyes, there wasn't just fury, but also shock and a hint of panic. Su Manjiao, you were nothing but a poor student, sponsored by my Tang family. I was blind to marry you and let you sit in this vice president's chair. Everything you have was given to you by me, yet you go and buy a $1,000,000 watch for an intern and even planned to give my CEO office to him, and you demand I kneel and apologize. Do you even know what shame is? I hadn't closed the door when I came in earlier, so the employees in the company were all Staring in this direction, I proceeded to slap Su Manjiao 2 more times. Everyone couldn't help but cover their mouths, their eyes wide open, in utter shock. People in the company basically all knew that in the past, Vice President Su would scold me, the CEO, like she was scolding her own son. I had never been as tough as I was today, Su Manjiao having her true colors exposed by me right in front of everyone. Was so furious, her face turned beet red. Tang Chen, that's enough. Who do you think I did all this for? Isn't it because you keep targeting Huayan? I'm making amends on your behalf. Not only do you not thank me, but you also hit me. Holy crap. Hearing this absurd, female-oriented logic made my blood boil instantly. A ruthless glint flashed in my eyes. I delivered a kick that sent her flying. Thank you? I'll thank your whole damn family. Crash. A large porcelain vase in the office was knocked over by her, shattering into pieces. I stared intently at the wreckage. Su Manjiao was struggling to get up amidst the shards. You eat my food, use my things, spend my money to buy him a watch, and give my office to that intern, and you fucking expect me to thank you? I looked down at her with utter contempt. Su Manjiao, all the material wealth you have, this glamorous capital, who do you think gave it to you? Have you forgotten how pathetic you looked when you first stepped into the Tang family's old house back then? If it weren't for my Tang family's sponsorship, you wouldn't have even gone to college. Shut up. Don't you dare bring that up. Don't bring it up. Other than having a good background, what else do you have? Huayan immediately ran over to help her, tears streaming down his face. President Tang, if you want to blame someone, blame me. It's all my fault. It's because I had my eyes on your office, motherfucker. This damn green tea bitch. Just looking at him makes me sick. I stepped forward, grabbed him by the collar, and smack, smack, I delivered over a dozen slaps. Right to his face. Damn it! You brought this upon yourself right at that moment. From outside the office, a chorus of gasps suddenly erupted. I felt a sudden gust of wind at the back of my neck, feeling the wind. At my nape, I instinctively tilted my head. Thud. My adopted sister, Tang Ning, had rushed in with an ashtray. In the blink of an eye, it smashed right into the middle of Xie Huayan's head. Blood poured down. Xie Huayan shrieked miserably like a slaughtered pig, rolling around on the floor as blood gushed out. Through his fingers, time seemed to stop for a second. Su Manjiao let out an ear-piercing scream, scrambling and crawling over to pull Xie Huayan into her arms. Tang Ning stood behind me in a black dress, completely dumbfounded. She stared at the scene before her in disbelief. She probably didn't expect me to dodge so suddenly, and definitely didn't expect the ashtray to hit the head of her precious little brother, Huayan. The employees gathered at the door were all scared pale, their eyes filled with panic. After Tang Ning snapped back to reality, she glared daggers at me. Tang Chen, this is all your fault. Why did you dodge? If it weren't for you constantly bullying Huayan, why would I have missed when I tried to hit you? I casually stood up and let out a cold sneer. Satisfied, incredibly satisfied. Say no more. This face-heel turn of yours is truly something. Absolutely brilliant. I almost thought, Tang Ning, that you were on my side, kind enough to clean house for me like this. Tang Ning was so furious her face turned pale, her chest heaving violently. She had no mind to argue with me anymore. Together with Su Manjiao, she hurriedly rushed Xie Huayan to the hospital. After they left, I immediately called Manager Wang from the finance department, conduct a full audit on Su Manjiao and Tang Ning's company expenses. Check every single transaction. Once you find any evidence of embezzlement, compile all the documents and bring them to me immediately. These two bitches have been using my supplementary cards. I then called the bank and froze all the supplementary cards right away. After that, I called a renowned lawyer in the industry. Lawyer Su, prepare a divorce agreement for me right now. I want Su Manjiao to leave with absolutely nothing. After making the calls, I leaned back in my office chair, my eyes sharp. These two ungrateful bitches won't take a single thing that belongs to my Tang family. This game has only just begun. In the VIP ward of the best private hospital, Su Huayan was lying on the hospital bed. Su Manjiao was attentively feeding him nutritious porridge. Tang Ning sat to the side, her expression grim. What the hell is wrong with Tang Chen? Why does it seem like he's suddenly become a completely different person? Su Manjiao fed him the last bite, then slammed the bowl down on the nightstand. What else could it be? He's just jealous. Because we treat Huayan so well. He probably thinks acting out will get my attention. If he hadn't been constantly bullying Huayan, would we have treated him like that? Tang Ning quickly chimed in. Exactly. This time, we definitely have to teach Tang Chen a lesson. Right at that moment, Xie Huayan, who was scrolling on his phone, stared intently at the termination notice that just popped up. The smug look on his face instantly froze. A second later, he cried out in horror. Sister Manjiao! Sister Tang Ning! What's going on? Why was I fired by the company? Su Manjiao hurriedly snatched the phone. With just one glance, her anger flared up instantly. Tang Chen, that damn simp! What the hell did he do? Before she could even finish her sentence, her phone and Tang Ning's phone also chimed. They were also termination notices sent from the company. Fine, Tang Ning gritted her teeth, squeezing every word through her teeth. With unbelievable fury. She, the nominal vice president of the Tang Group, the adopted sister of the CEO, was fired too. This meant that everything she had built over the years at the Tang Group, her position as vice president, her prestige, the connections she had, painstakingly cultivated in the company, and the massive dividends she was set to receive in the future, all vanished into thin air in an instant. This animal, just wait till I get back and deal with him, Zai! Huayan was even more stunned, never expecting that both vice presidents would also be fired. The wound on his forehead began to throb violently, and his vision darkened in waves. He had originally wanted to cling to these two vice presidents, to skyrocket to the top, and live in glory. Now, it was all gone in a flash. He instinctively grabbed Tang Ning's arm, his voice laced with tears. Sister Tang Ning, sister, what do we do? We've been fired by President Tang Chen. Who does he think he is? He thinks he can fire us with just a text message? In his dreams, he's completely lost his mind. I'm going to the company to find him right now. I want to confront him in front of all the employees and demand an explanation. What right does he have to throw his weight around? I will definitely make him kneel down and apologize to me in front of everyone. She said this as she was about to storm out, but Su Manjiao reacted quickly and pulled her back. Sister Ning, what's the rush? Have you forgotten how he used to act like a total simp for us? In the past, whenever we got sick, wasn't he the one running around staying up all night to take care of us? That year, the three of us went camping in the suburbs because he didn't want us to get tired. He carried all the gear by himself, lugging it on his shoulders. Back then, the two of us made a bet and pretended to drown to see who Tang Chen would save first. Whoever he saved would marry him. Even though Tang Chen saved me first, he was clearly exhausted to the point of collapse, yet without a moment's hesitation, he jumped back into the river. To save you too. Meanwhile, he sank to the bottom and almost drowned. I think this time he's just throwing a childish tantrum. Let's just ignore him for a while. He'll naturally come back like a dog wagging its tail, begging us to return. If you go back to look for him now, wouldn't you be falling right into his trap? Hearing Su Manjiao's reminder, those memories instantly flooded back to Tang Ning. When she was sick, Tang Chen would personally cook soup late at night and bring it to her. To protect them from being bullied, he was beaten by a gang of thugs until his head was bleeding. They only needed to casually mention something, and he would scramble to do it immediately. He always fought to pay the bills, and there was that time he almost drowned during the camping trip. These images flashed through her mind. That's right. Tang Chen had always obeyed them unconditionally. He was even a fool, willing to risk his life for them. How could he actually fire them? How could he actually fire them? Manjiao, what you said makes sense. I was just letting my emotions get the better of me. Tang Ning flashed a smug smile, her eyes regaining their former confidence. Tang, Chen must have really seen how well we treat Huayan, and gotten triggered. So, he's playing hard to get, trying to grab our attention. He's certainly improved his tactics. Let's see how many days he can keep this up. A week passed. I finally managed to make time to go to the hospital for a checkup. CEOs in novels are very prone to stomach cancer. I worked so hard to become a tycoon. I don't want to die young. After the checkup, my health was perfectly fine. Feeling relieved, I stepped into the hospital lobby, only to bump right into Su Manjiao and Tang Ning, who were handling Xie Huayan's discharge procedures. The hospital staff respectfully handed over the bill. Hello, Miss Su. We followed your instructions and used all the best medications for Mr. Azi. The total medical bill comes to 2.3 million RMB. The exorbitant hospital fee made Zi Huayan jump in shock. He couldn't help but click his tongue inwardly. He heard that the brain medication cost 100,000 RMB per shot, and he had already taken over 10 shots. Su Minjiao, expressionless, slowly pulled a card from her bag. Swipe this. After the staff took the card, they tried it 3 or 4 times, but it kept declining. They handed the bank card back. Miss Su, your card is declining. Would you like to try another card? Su Manjiao and Tang Ning tried several more cards, but they all showed payment failed. The expressions on their faces instantly turned incredibly ugly. Sister Tang Ning, what on earth is going on? Why aren't our cards working anymore? Mine too. It must be Tang Chen playing tricks. I stood to the side, enjoying the show. These two usually only knew how to eat, drink, and party, swiping my supplementary cards for everything. They only joined the company this year, and their meager vice president salaries had long been scammed by Zie Huayan, who used the excuse of his mother being gravely ill to pocket it all. Then he gambled it all away. Su Manjiao's gaze. Just then she spotted me. She stormed over, her eyes burning with accusation, clearly wanting to confront me. The people waiting to check out kept glancing our way, their expressions a mix of judgment and curiosity. After all, both Su Manjiao and Tang Ning were stunningly beautiful and dressed in luxury brands. Combined with the embarrassing scene of their cards being declined just moments ago, it was more than enough to draw a crowd. Su Manjiao's voice was sharp as she stared me down. Tang Xin, was it you? Did you freeze all our cards? Do you have any idea how humiliating that was for us? I was so angry I had to laugh. I froze my own bank cards. What does your card being declined have to do with me? Or were you planning to use my card to pay for your little boy toy? Su Manjiao's face instantly flushed red and she started breathing heavily. Even if those cards are yours as my husband, what's wrong with me using them? The moment she said that, the whole hall erupted in murmurs. What the hell is going on? So this guy is her actual husband? I saw her holding onto that other guy's arm the whole time. I thought they were a couple. So he's her boy toy, huh? Tisk. He looks so clean cut. But she's trying to use her husband's money to pay her lover's hospital bills. And using the best medicine, too. Absolutely shameless. Exactly. Kids these days are getting more and more out of hand. Their morals have gone down the drain. Su Manjiao's face was beet red with shame. She roared, "All of you, shut up! Huayan is just our adopted little brother. There's nothing going on between us besides. What business is it of yours if I spend my husband's money? Do you worthless trash have any right to point fingers? The people who could afford treatment at this top-tier private hospital weren't exactly common folk." Hearing her words, that auntie let out a loud, mocking laugh. Little brother, more like little lover boy. The room erupted in another wave of derisive laughter. Su Manjiao was so humiliated and furious her eyes turned red. Just as she was about to curse them out, Tang Ning gave her a sharp tug. Tang Ning stepped in front of me and said, "Tang Shen, there's a limit to your jealousy. Manjiao and I told you a long time ago, we've always just seen Huayan as a little brother. Now, hurry up and pay the bill. Otherwise, Manjiao and I are going to get really angry." Zia Huayan put on a wronged expression. "That's right, Mr. Tang. I know that Manjiao and Miss Tang treating me well has made you uncomfortable, but you can't use these childish tricks to provoke them. You'll only push them further away." I slapped him right across the face. "Who the hell do you think you are, to lecture me on what to do?" Z. Huayan's head snapped to the side from the force of the blow. Under the bandage on his forehead, fresh blood started to seep out. He clutched his face as tears immediately welled up in his eyes. "Tang Shen, what are you doing?" Su Manjiao shrieked. She rushed to stand in front of Zia Huayan, like a mother hen protecting her chick. She glared at me, her eyes blazing with fury. Tang Ning was so angry she gritted her teeth. "Tang Shen, that's enough. We have to pay Huayan's hospital bill. You froze the cards, so what are we supposed to do? Pay it now. Stop embarrassing us here." I grabbed Tang Ning by the throat and slammed her to the ground. Pay my ass. You're the ones who've been making a scene from the start. What the hell does it have to do with me?" Tang Ning hit the hard marble floor. With a dull thud, she clutched her throat, coughing violently. Her flushed face was a mix of shock, pain, and the outrage of being publicly humiliated. "Tang Ning," Su Manjiao let out a horrified gasp. She wanted to rush over and help Tang Ning, but she hesitated, shielding Z Huaiyan. For a moment, she was completely flustered. The auntie eagerly gave me a thumbs up. That's right, young man, well done. These two arrogant women, you can't give them an inch. Don't be a fool and let them lead you by the nose. This auntie is pretty interesting. I immediately smiled and nodded at her. Su Manjiao, seeing me exchange pleasantries with the auntie, became even more furious. Husband, how long are you going to keep this up? Aren't you just jealous because we're nice to Huaiyan? Do you think throwing a tantrum like this will make me and Tang Ning pay more attention to you? Is that it? A man should be more magnanimous. Come on, stop making a scene and pay the bill. Otherwise, me and Tang Ning are going to get really angry. Just then, the hospital. Administrator marched over with a group of menacing security guards. That's enough. You've caused enough trouble. I don't care who pays. Just pay the bill now. This is a hospital, not a charity. You all can leave if you want. I won't stop you. But this Mr. Jie Huaihan has to stay here. Su Manji Gao. And Tong Ning stared at the aggressive security guards, trembling as they asked, What do you want? This private hospital was owned by the original owner's childhood friend. I had secretly sent him a text. Less than 2 minutes later, this hospital administrator showed up. He was about 40 or 50, bald, and wore black-rimmed glasses. What do we want? He sneered, pushing up his glasses. His tone was cold as steel. This Mr. Zi Huaiyan is a patient at our hospital. His medical expenses are clearly documented. The total comes to 2.3 million yuan. According to our hospital's regulations, until the bill is paid in full, the patient is not allowed to leave. Otherwise, we'll have no choice but to beat him up a bit, to collect some interest, and then hand him over to the police. Huaihan was scared out of his wits. He clutched his head and cried out, Manjiao Tang Ning, my head hurts so much, your head hurts. The man glanced at Zi Huaiyan with a cold look, his voice dripping with disgust. Mr. Zi, according to your attending physician, you used the best medicine, and your wounds have healed perfectly. You could have been discharged the day before yesterday, so why are you putting on an act now? It didn't hurt earlier, it didn't hurt later, but the moment you're asked to pay the bill, your head suddenly starts hurting like crazy, right? He spoke so bluntly, he might as well have written faking illness to dodge debt right on Z. Huaiyan's face. Mocking laughter immediately erupted all around. Zi Huan's face turned pale, his mouth opened wide, then snapped shut, not daring to utter another word. He could only shoot a pleading look at Su Manjiao and Tang Ning. Su Manjiao stomped her feet in a panic. Stop it right now. Are you trying to piss me off? To death? Let me tell you, if anything happens to Huaiyan, I absolutely won't let you off the hook. I couldn't be bothered to waste my breath on her anymore. I gave a slight nod to the hospital. Director. The director immediately responded, waving his hand to give the order. Beat him up, just don't hit the head. Once you're done, drag him to the police station. The security guards immediately rushed forward, raining kicks down on Zai Huaiyan with swift professional strikes. They avoided his vitals, but the heavy blows landing on Xie Huaiyan produced a series of dull, sickening thuds. Stop hitting me, help. Sister Manjiao. Sister Tang Ning, save me, it hurts so much. Xie Huaiyan curled up on the ground, clutching his head, his body quickly covered in dirt and blood. Stop, all of you! Stop, right now! Su Manjiao's eyes widened in fury, wanting to rush forward like a madwoman, but she was held back by the guards, unable to move. I'll pay, give me 20 minutes. I'll hand it over right away. Just stop hitting him. Seeing that they had been taught enough of a lesson, I didn't bother looking anymore and turned to leave. I still needed to keep them around to deal with them slowly. Afterward, Su Manjiao and Ting Ning called a second-hand buyer over. They took the designer bags they had on them, along with their expensive watches and jewelry, and sold them all off at a dirt-cheap price. They barely scraped together enough for the medical bills to return home from the hospital. I specifically had my assistant bring the divorce agreement here. I knew that after being discharged, they would definitely come back. While I was having dinner, the three of them, sure enough, stepped into my Tang family villa. Su Manjiao, seeing me sitting alone at the dining table eating, immediately flew into a rage. Hey, how could you just start eating by yourself? Didn't I send you a text message? We were bringing Huaiyan home for dinner. It's bad enough you didn't pay Huaiyan's hospital bills, but now you even dare to not prepare. Any food for us? How can you be so vicious? Tang Ning was also so angry. Her chest heaved violently, her finger trembling as she pointed at me. Tang Chen, just how much more of a fuss are you going to make? Can't you be a little more sensible like Huaiyan? Huayan walked at the very back, his head bowed in a timid and fearful manner. His forehead was wrapped in blood-soaked gauze, his gait awkward, his right hand unconsciously clutching his ribs. Sister Ma Yao, Sister Tang Ning, please don't be angry anymore. It's all my fault. Maybe I should just leave, Zi Huayan said, lifting his foot as if to walk out. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning immediately grabbed him, one on each side. Huayan, you're still a patient. If you go back there alone, who will take care of you? Besides, there are plenty of empty rooms in this house. Just make yourself at home. This is my house too. You can stay as long as you want. Xie Huaihan feigned reluctance, but he secretly shot me a triumphant glance. Manjiao, I don't think this is a good idea. Tang Ning supported him with a look of pity. Oh please, what's not good about it? That rundown apartment you rent has such terrible conditions. How can you possibly live there? We have maids here, and Manjiao and I will be here to take care of you. Just relax and stay here. She turned her head to look at Auntie Wang and ordered arrogantly, Auntie Wang, what are you standing there for? Hurry up and go cook. Huayan just got out of the hospital, so we can't eat anything too spicy. Make sure to cook something light. The maids, the butler, and the bodyguards in the house had all been instructed by me beforehand. Auntie Wang completely ignored her, not even sparing Tang Ning a glance. A faint, almost imperceptible look of contempt crossed her face. Tang Ning was stunned by Auntie Wang's dismissive attitude. A moment later, a wave of fury rushed to her head. Auntie Wang, are you deaf? Didn't you hear what I said? I told you to go cook. Su Manjiao also furrowed her brows in displeasure, glaring at Auntie Wang. Then she glanced at the people standing behind. Me, 4 bodyguards with emotionless faces. Her heart skipped a beat. A bad feeling started to creep in. I finally finished my meal. I put down my chopsticks and wiped my hands with a napkin. Then I shouted, Butler Fu! Restrain these 3 for me. In Butler Fu's eyes, a flash of long-suppressed excitement suddenly ignited. Yes, young master, hurry up and do as the young master ordered. Hold them down if they dare to resist. I'll break their legs. Before he even finished speaking, 4 bodyguards immediately sprang into action, giving Su Manjiao and the other 2 absolutely no chance to struggle. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning didn't even have time to scream. Before they were firmly pinned down, another bodyguard kicked hard right into the back of Zi Huayan's knees. Xie Huayan let out a miserable shriek. With a thud, he fell to his knees, his kneecaps slamming hard against the floor. He grimaced in agony, both arms pinned tightly behind him. Tang Chen, you animal, I'm your sister! How could you treat me like this? Tang Ning also struggled desperately to break free, but realized it was completely useless. What are you doing? Let me go, Tang Chen, are you crazy? You dare let them touch me? Su Manjiao finally snapped back to reality, thrashing wildly and screaming. Tang Chen, you've made enough of a scene. How dare you treat me like this? Let's get a divorce. I burst out laughing, not expecting her to be the one to bring up divorce first. Interesting, I signaled the bodyguards to let her go, then threw the divorce agreement down in front of her. Fine, didn't you want a divorce? I'll grant your wish. Su Manjiao's arms were released. She stumbled for a moment before regaining her balance. She picked up the divorce agreement suddenly, looking up at me, her eyes full of disbelief. You Tang Chen, what is the meaning of this? I smirked, looking down at her from above. Weren't you the one who said you wanted a divorce? If you've got the guts, sign it. Su Manjiao suddenly seemed to have figured something out, bursting into a bizarre fit of laughter. Leave with nothing? She laughed, growing more and more smug. Tang Chen, since high school you've always obeyed my every word. Who in all of High City doesn't know that you're nothing but Su Manjiao's lapdog? You think threatening me with divorce will scare me? Let me tell you, this little trick of playing, hard to get. I saw right through it a long time ago. Don't even think I'll fall for this trap. If you get on your knees and apologize to us right now, I might just consider not signing this. Otherwise, if I actually sign this agreement, then later, even if you beg me on your knees, I will never come back. Tang Ning quickly chimed in from the side. That's right. When that time comes, even if you kneel and beg us, it'll be too late. Hearing their words, I couldn't help but be astounded. What an absolute bunch of shameless freaks. I originally had evidence in my hands of her embezzling funds, spending millions to buy a luxury watch for Zi Huayan's birthday, planning to use it to force them into submission. Did I overthink things? Now, there's no rush to throw them in jail, otherwise it'd be letting them off too easy. I looked at her with a mocking sneer, then sign it. Why are you spouting so much nonsense? Su Manjiao's face turned pale with anger. Fine, very well. Let's see how long you can keep acting tough. Su Manjiao grabbed a pen and decisively signed her name on the agreement. I took the signed divorce agreement, almost bursting into laughter. I pointed at the watch on Xi Huayan's wrist and loudly ordered the butler, "Take that watch off him. Throw these three out. From now on, they are not allowed anywhere near the Tang family's doors, not even half a step." Butler Fu hurriedly bowed. "Yes, young master. Take these three eyesores and throw them out. Take off the watch. Make it clean. Yes, sir." The bodyguards replied in unison, their actions even rougher than before. The bodyguard, who had just kicked Xie Huayan, grabbed Xie Huayan's wrist. Amidst Xie Huayan's panicked cries of no, he showed no mercy, forcefully ripping the luxury watch right off his wrist. The movement was extremely brutal. The watch strap scraped the skin on Xie Huayan's wrist, leaving deep, bloody marks. "My watch. That was a gift from Sister Manjiao." Xie Huayan was so heartbroken he seemed to forget the pain, reaching out to snatch it back. The bodyguard casually tossed the watch to Butler. Fu then, like picking up a little chick, grabbed Xie Huayan by the collar and dragged him straight out. "No, you can't do this. What right do you have to take the watch? I gave to Huayan. I bought that with my own money." Su Manjiao, seeing Xie Huayan's watch confiscated, thrashed around like a madwoman. But unfortunately, it was useless. "Let me go, Tang Chen. How dare you? My bags, my designer clothes, my jewelry are all still upstairs. You can't just kick me out like this." Tong Ning finally panicked, her voice cracking. "You have to know that all that jewelry, clothes, and bags add up to over 10 million yuan. Tang Chen, you're insane. How could you kick us out? This is my home too. I've lived here for over 10 years. I let out a cold laugh. Your home? Is there a single thing among your belongings that wasn't bought with my money? You lot are nothing but parasites, leeching off my Tang family, and yet you actually consider yourselves the masters of this house." I waved my hand, signaling the butler to throw them out. "Next time they dare to show up near the Tang family estate, beat them up. Every single time you see them. What a bunch of trash. Enough nonsense." The bodyguards, as if tossing out the trash, dragged all three of them straight out the door. Su Manjiao twisted her ankle in her high heels, nearly falling flat on her face. Luckily, Tang Ning barely managed to catch her. As for Xie Huayan, he was thrown straight to the ground, falling face first and eating a mouthful of dirt. The intricately carved doors of the luxurious mansion behind them slammed shut with a loud bang. The three of them still weren't willing to give up, standing outside cursing loudly and pounding on the door, echoing all around. As a result, Butler Fu led some men out and gave them a beating. Only then did they finally quiet down, the three of them supporting each other as they hobbled away trembling. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning had no other choice but to go to Xie Huayan's rented apartment, a place whose lease was about to expire. The three of them, bruised and battered, collapsed onto the sofa. Xie Huayan clutched his head and groaned. "Sister Manjiao, Sister Tang Ning, if President Tang really doesn't care about you two anymore, what are we going to do?" Tang Ning held her swollen, red cheek, unable to hide a flash of worry in her eyes. "That's right, Manjiao. Why do I feel like Tang Chen has truly turned into a completely different person? If it were before, he absolutely would never have treated us like this." Su Manjiao wore a disdainful expression and said, "What are you two panicking for? At times like this, it's about who can stay calmer. Sister Ning Ning, Tang Chen. Doing all this is just to force us to bow our heads, isn't it? If we actually give in to him this time, won't we be ordered around by him like spitting tops from now on? Don't worry, we'll just stay here quietly and wait. In less than a week, he'll definitely be on his knees begging us to come back." Hearing Su Manjiao's words, the two of them finally felt a bit more at ease. For the next period of time, Su Manjiao and Tang Ning slept in the bedroom, while Xie Huayan slept on the living room sofa. Xie Huayan went to the market for groceries, cooked and cleaned, acting exactly like a servant, waiting on these two divas for over half a month. As a result, the lease expired, and all three were miserably kicked out by the landlord. Right at that moment, the debt collectors from the casino tracked them down. Without a word, they gave Xie Huayan another beating. The leader, a bald guy, didn't forget to spit on him, Before leaving, I'll give you 1 more week. If you still don't pay back the 1 million yuan you owe us, we'll take these 2 women as payment. Sue. Manjiao and Tung Ning were terrified by these vicious thugs, scared completely out of their wits. Only after they left did the two of them timidly help Zie Huyan up. Huyan, do you really owe them 1 million yuan? Su Manjiao's voice trembled. She stared intently at Zie Huyan, hoping he would deny it. Huyan clutched his face, his eyes darting away, stammering. I was set up by them. Manjiao, Tang Ning, you two have to save me, otherwise they'll... Really, he didn't finish his sentence, but the implication was already crystal clear. Tang Ning staggered, nearly collapsing. 1 million yuan. To them in the past, this was just pocket money. But now, they were even struggling just to eat. Those close friends from before, who knows where. They heard the news of them being kicked out of the Tang family, but now they wouldn't even reply to a text, let alone lend them money. Save you? What are we supposed to save you with? Tang Ning finally exploded. All the pent-up grievances from the past while, the panic, and the painful humiliation of being slapped in the face by reality finally found an outlet at this very moment. Zie Huayan, before, when your mother was seriously ill, Manjiao and I transferred over 2 million yuan to you. Did you blow it all on gambling? Zie Huayan's head hung even lower, unable to utter a single word for a long time. At this point, what was there left for Tang Ning and Su Manjiao? To not understand? Tang Ning couldn't hold back anymore and delivered a vicious slap right across Zi Huayan's face. She grabbed him with both hands, tearing at his clothes. It's all your fault, bastard! You scammer, if it weren't for you, how would we have ended up in this state? My position, my black card, my designer bags. This is insane. It's all gone. Zie Huayan, you've ruined us, Sue! Manjiao stared at the scene before her, her mind completely blank. Zie Huayan's face turned, ferocious. Unable to hold back any longer, he completely exploded. He swung his hand and slapped her right back, landing a heavy blow on Tang Ning's face. Then he lunged at Su Manjiao. Damn it, you think you two are anything special? I just played the victim a little, beat myself up, and threw myself down the stairs to frame President Tang. And you two stupid pigs actually bought it. You didn't believe your own brother, your own husband, but chose to believe an outsider like me. If it weren't for the money, you think I'd bother? Showing my face to suck up to you? Having to revolve around 2 idiots like you all day? Don't you know what your own true colors are? One is an adopted daughter, the other is from a dirt-poor background, yet every day you put on airs, acting like high-class ladies in front of me, and you had the nerve to say that in less than a week, President Tang would be on his knees, begging you to come back. Pfft, you two shameless bitches. You bunch of parasites. Eating his food, drinking his drinks, living in his house, and doing absolutely nothing useful at his company, yet still taking 1 million yuan salary every year, and you still dare to look down on the eldest young master? You really are too ungrateful, backstabbing. Wretches, I've had enough of you! President Tang dumped you 2 idiots a long time ago. You still can't see reality clearly. Are you still daydreaming, right now? You only have one way to survive, and that's to go back, get on your knees, and beg President Tang for forgiveness. Beg Tang Chin to keep being the fool for you to use Zai. Huiyan kicked the two of them hard again, his eyes growing increasingly vicious. Let me tell you, the only reason the casino lent me money before was because they saw photos of me with you two. They knew you were vice presidents of the Tang group, so they agreed to the loan. Hurry up and get me 1 million yuan right now. Otherwise, sooner or later, I'll kill you both. Pfft, you useless trash. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning sat slumped on the ground, both completely stunned. Zi Huiyan had completely torn off his mask. His true colors being revealed made them realize just how stupid and ridiculous they had been. They used to think they were so high and mighty, such arrogant, wealthy young ladies, yet they were played like fiddles by a scammer, a piece of scum, spun around like tops, losing absolutely everything. At this moment, they were green with regret. The two of them let out a scream and lunged forward, brawling fiercely with Zi Huayan. The 3 of them tore into each other, fighting endlessly. Finally, passers-by had to intervene to pull them apart. Both sides glared at each other with towering hatred. You bitch, if you don't scrape together 1 million yuan in a week, don't expect to live in peace. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning cursed at the damn scammer. You'd better Pray that Tang Chen can forgive us. Otherwise, even if we become ghosts, we won't let you off. If we die together. After the three of them went their separate ways, Su Manjiao and Tang Ning immediately returned to the Tang residence. But before they could even say a word, Butler, Fu beat them up and threw them out. You two ungrateful wretches, if you dare to trespass on private property again, I'll break your legs. The two of them had no other choice but to come find me at the company. Unfortunately for them, they were thrown out by security. They waited until closing time to ambush me. I walked out, surrounded by my bodyguards. Seeing these two fools with their bruised faces and messy hair, their lips purple from the cold, I couldn't help but laugh. They'd lost all of their former glamour and splendor. When they saw me come out, both of their eyes lit up. They tried to rush towards me. My bodyguards coldly raised their hands, stopping them 2 meters away from me. Honey, it's me. It's Manjiao. Look at me. No, it's my fault. It was all my fault. I must have been possessed. That bastard Zia Huaihan tricked me. Can you forgive us? We truly know we were wrong. I deliberately squinted, pretending to size them up for a moment, then spoke as if I'd just recognized them. Aren't you Miss Su and Miss Tang? Who could have left you two in such a state? I seem to recall you two were with your kind, innocent little brother Huaiyan, weren't you? Why would you have the time to come see me? Su Manjiao's face immediately flushed red. She heard the mockery and sarcasm in my words. She forcibly suppressed the anger rising within her. Honey, we were truly wrong. It was all because Zi Huaiyan tricked us. He's nothing but a gambling addict, a con man. Tang Ning nodded desperately, her eyes instantly turning red. That's right, a Shen. We were blinded by his sweet words. He deceived us. A Shen, I'm begging you. We really know we were wrong. For the sake of what we once had, can you give us one more chance? We swear we'll treat you right from now on. Only you. Su Manjiao nodded frantically, tears streaming down her face. What we once had? Does what we once had mean siding with Zia Huaiyan without hesitation when he slandered me? Does it mean embezzling company funds to buy a luxury watch worth millions for your lover, or giving my office to an intern like him, letting an intern brazenly try to move into my Tang family home, and even forcing me to kneel and apologize to you? Or perhaps, Miss Tang, you want to use a chicken to smash over my head again? Su Manjiao, Tang Ning, stop kidding yourselves. Tell me, is there anything left between us? I paused for a moment, my expression growing darker. My voice was as cold as ice. You don't know you were wrong. You've just hit a dead end. Su Manjiao, Tang Ning. Have you ever thought about what would have happened if I hadn't woken up? If I'd continued to unconditionally give in to your every demand? What would have been the outcome? What would have happened to my Tang family? If you hadn't been pushed into a corner, you would have never seen Zi Huaiyan's true colors. You two fools. All you knew was how to drag my entire family down with you, just to satisfy the greed of a con man. And now, you still have the nerve to come begging for my forgiveness? I looked at them and sneered. The light in their eyes slowly faded. Now get the hell out of my sight. Don't fucking come here and disgust me anymore. With that, I gave them no chance to linger. I turned and opened the car door. Tang Xin, you can't treat us like this. Su Manjiao let out a heart-wrenching scream, trying to break through the 4 bodyguards. Tang Xin, we really know we were wrong. Don't go! I sat in the car, slowly closing my eyes. I ordered the driver to go. For the next few days, they tried to intercept me everywhere. Knowing I was at the company, they stood guard downstairs all day. When I went out to eat, they would just stare at me through the window. That night, after finishing up with a new college girl I'd met, I looked out the floor-to-ceiling window. They were standing outside the villa. Under the streetlight, the two of them were shivering uncontrollably, barely able to stand. A slight smirk played on my lips. It seems the time is ripe. Time to add a little more fuel to the fire. I got dressed and went out with my bodyguards. After a few days, they were visibly thinner. The dark circles under their eyes were prominent. The bruises on their faces hadn't fully healed and were now turning purple from the cold. When they saw me come out with my bodyguards, their eyes lit up and they both dropped to their knees. Shen, we really know we were wrong. We shouldn't have treated you like that. We were just a couple of ungrateful backstabbers. We betrayed your kindness. Su Manjiao's voice was dry and hoarse, choked with sobs. Shen, I never did anything to wrong you. Please forgive us this one time. Just this once. Tears streamed down Tang Ning's face. Shen, I'm sorry, we truly regret it. From now on, we'll definitely make it up to you. I looked at them without a shred of emotion and let out a cold laugh. I threw a stack of documents down in front of them. Su Manjiao, Tang Ning. Take a good look. Last time I was on a business trip, you gifted a 1,000,000 yuan luxury watch and booked the most extravagant hotel to celebrate Xie Huayan's birthday. In total, you embezzled 5.8 million yuan of company funds. Both of your signatures are right here. The evidence is ironclad and irrefutable. I can press charges against you at any time. I crouched down and patted their cheeks. I'll give you 1 month. Pay back every cent of this 5.8 million yuan. Otherwise, I'll go straight to the police. You can spend the rest of your lives repenting in prison. I've given you a chance. You better know how to cherish it. This time, they were completely stunned. They had hoped I would pull them out of the mud, but instead, I personally pushed them into an even deeper abyss of despair. This 5.8 million yuan was meant to ensure they could never get back on their feet. With that, I turned my back and walked away, leaving them with only the sight of my resolute back. Behind me, the sound of wailing erupted, the cries of 2 people who had completely broken down. Ever since I posted an announcement on the official website that they were suspected of embezzlement, had been fired, and that we reserved the right to pursue legal action. They couldn't even find a decent job, let alone earn 5.8 million yuan. Within a month, Su Manjiao and Tang Ning went everywhere trying to borrow money, but no one would help them. The 2 of them frantically called and texted me. My only reply was always a countdown. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning finally realized that I would never let them off the hook. It was then that they truly fell into despair. That damned Zhao Huayan kept pestering them every few days, demanding money. He even brought the bald guy from the casino to hunt them down. Su Manjiao and Tang Ning, already on the verge of collapse, finally couldn't take it anymore and completely snapped. They arranged to meet Xie Huayan on an overpass. The 3 of them got into a struggle and fell into the river. I heard their bodies were found in pieces. When I heard the news, I was with a college student on vacation at the beach. For the past 2 days, the winter weather by the sea had been unusually warm, with temperatures reaching up to 30 degrees Celsius under a coconut tree on the long stretch of sand. I squinted, admiring her sexy abs and long, fair legs. She took a sip of red wine, pouted, and snuggled into my arms. I wrapped my arm around her smooth shoulders. All right, don't be mad anymore. It was just because I didn't go pick up seashells with you, right? Come on, let's go right now. Shen, you're so good to me. Oh, really? Last night you said I was a bad boy. Oog, I hate you.